RPG Day 2021. What about the other words? So I'll do the other prompts, the secondary prompts of day 9, 10, and 11. The main prompts are being treated already on my channel with an exploration of PDFs with those words. Now I will ramble about the other words. Day 9, role. Well, role comes into the name of our hobby, role-playing game. Okay, yeah. Of course, there's the gaming part which takes a lot of place to many people. But game, either it's a game of cards or any game you'd like playing with the Lego bricks. Okay, it's a game. Okay, it's a leisure, it's a game. Okay, in role-playing game, yes, it takes place, but what makes our hobby special is the role part. So much that today we have games where the role has a tremendous place into the game, and the gaming part is just fading, in the background. It's there once in a while. It will pop up, but what makes our hobby great is the role part. The gaming part, yes, it's okay, it's great, and we have great game mechanic, but the role part is what makes this hobby unique, right? Emotion, of course, we can give ourselves into the emotion of our characters. We can be angry, we can be happy. We get through it, we get into it, and yeah, all sorts of emotion are there. It can be through our character, what he's going through, but it can be also what's going on the table. A bad dice roll. Sorry, how much frustration how much frustration you can have with a bad die roll, or how much joy you will have with a critical success, right? So emotion is all there. Percentage. I'm a big fan of basic role-playing. I'm a big fan of percentile-based game. And, I'm not doing any percentile-based game these times around. And while I'm talking to you about it, I'm maybe thinking, maybe that could be cool. Well, we'll see. But I have maybe a project or not. Let's see. But percentile, it's easy to handle. Really, it's probably one. As a game master, it's very... how can I say it? It's a smooth ride. Okay, it strikes the imagination. Let's say that you have 70% chance of succeeding into something. You already know what you are getting into when you roll the dice. I like basic role-playing. I'm also a big fan of Legend, which I haven't played enough. Legend is from Mongoose Publishing, and it was based on one of the many versions of RuneQuest, the second version from Mongoose, RuneQuest 2 by Mongoose, which they don't have any rights. RuneQuest is kind of running around. It's getting in the end of many people. I think it's back in Chaos, but nevertheless, percentile-based games, I do love them. Conscience, who are you? Huh? Well, when you sit down at the table and the game begins, you are this other person. Your conscience is elsewhere. I think it's one of the best part of it. That's the evasion part. Okay, of playing those games. Your conscience, you are something else. Who are you? You are that other character. Your conscience is elsewhere. Well, I don't know if I answered it right, but nevertheless, that's what that inspires me. Light is very useful. Okay, many of our scenarios in many of those games gets ourselves into dark places. Okay, dark dark caverns or dungeons, and light is very useful, which leads me to probably one of the most useful spell ever. Is the light spell. Okay, I think every magic using character, whatever the game, should have a way to make light to learn that spell, and because it's probably the most useful one in that case. You need to see what you're doing, so light is very important. Advantage makes me think about rolling with advantage in Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. They made this very popular, though it existed before. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it existed before. advantage. It's not, technically speaking, it's not maybe the most accurate way to make things happen in the good way. Rolling with advantage doesn't secure you a success, but it helps you, okay? And in Dungeons and Dragons, if I have something good to say about this game, is that game system, advantage or disadvantage, because it speeds up the game, okay? And when you roll with advantage, well, you're happy. But we saw that kind of system elsewhere. Yeah, like I said, just hero kits, okay? Hero kits it's a pool of dice, and you take the highest of your pool. You only take one of those dice. So the more dice you roll, the more with advantage you're rolling. Right, sorry. I just saw something when I arrived. Listen to the other players. As a game master, listen to your game master. The ability, the capability, the ability to listen is probably one of the most important thing, the most important quality to have when you get into role-playing game. You must listen. If you can't listen, you will lose track of what is going on. Simple as that. Okay, you need to listen, and you want to be a good role player. Listen. That's the first advice I'd like to say. If you are able to listen carefully to what's going on, well, you're already on the good side of that hobby. Heavy. How many times heavy object won the combat? I have some image in my head. A whale falling down on the enemy, a dead dragon on its owner, a building collapsing on the villain, okay? These are the moments where you don't really roll dice. That it's too heavy, so if the players were able, or if they receive something very heavy, well, the heaviness of the object often wins the combat. So heavy, that's what it's inspiring me. Despair. Well, don't despair, players. Yeah, it can happen that in the scenario something very desperate happens. You don't know if you will get out of this alive. The enemy is too strong. The plot is getting more complex and complex, and you can't see the end of it. You are in despair. Well, any good table, don't despair. It might end up as being like in a movie. So maybe you will see the light at the end of the tunnel. So don't despair. Everything can be all right. It's just a game after all. So these were the other prompts of day 9, 10, 11. So yeah, feel free to comment and stay tuned for more RPG a day for this year. François Letarte for JDRD30. See you next time. Bye.